Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? This your man, your big homie, Big Mike, checking in, Real Talk TV. So before I get started, as always, man, if you're new to my channel, watching for the first time, I'd like to say, hey, welcome to my channel. I appreciate you watching. To my new subscribers, thank y'all so much for subscribing to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Showing your support. I appreciate that. Hope that I can satisfy, you know what I'm saying, whatever request that you have. Thank you for appreciating my videos and subscribing. I really do appreciate that. To my loyal subscribers, thank y'all so much for y'all continued support. I really do appreciate y'all a great deal. Thanks to everybody. You know, even if you don't subscribe, I won't take it personal. I get it. Not everything's for everybody. Thanks for watching anyway. All right. So this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about the different levels of forgiving yourself, the 5 stages of forgiveness, right? It's going to line up with the 5 stages of grief, which is what I humbly believe that also relates to the 5 stages of self-forgiveness, forgiving yourself. Because it's a process. You know, forgiving yourself is a process. It's not something that happens overnight, something that takes time. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't make it through these 5 stages. They get hung up on one of them, which I'll share with you guys in a minute. So if you guys who are watching this video struggle with forgiving yourself, you know, forgiving yourself for procrastination, forgiving yourself for any mistake you may have made, something you may have said to somebody, whether it was a relative or a friend or an ex or whatever the case may be, you know, I'm going to talk you guys through different stages that falls in line with the 5 stages of grief and how it correlates to the 5 stages of forgiving yourself. Okay. All right, so the first stage I'm going to talk to you guys about is the stage of denial. The stage of denying that you've made that mistake. You know, you'd like to think that you are not capable of doing something so egregious, right? Whether it's something you said, something you did, or whether it's just you screwing up in life. You know what I'm saying? You may have procrastinated, you may have failed at an opportunity, whatever the case may be. And at first, you're denying. A lot of times you like to deny that it's really as bad as what you thought it was. You know what I'm saying? We like to not face reality sometimes. We like to deny what it is that we actually did or said. Well, it wasn't that bad, blah, 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 blah. When in all reality, it really is that bad. You know, and that's something that's tough for us to swallow when we really sit there and dwell on it. It's really tough, you know. That's the first stage, denial. And once you come to accept that, what you've done, or what you've said, or what you've allowed, then here comes the stage of anger. Being angry at yourself. I've been here many times myself. I've been so angry at myself for things I've did, things I've said to people. That's what it is. You become angry at yourself because you can't believe you were capable of doing such a thing. You're just in total shock that you went across that line to do or say something, such as what you may have said or done. So being angry at self is very common, but it's also part of the healing process. Being angry at yourself is also how you become better, because when you become angry at yourself for committing an act or saying something so egregious, then you learn from that. You gain wisdom from that, because anger and pain results in wisdom. Because when something pisses you off or when something hurts you, whether it's something that happened to you or something that you've done to somebody, that's what builds wisdom. Because when you feel that level of irateness or that level of anger, you are determined not to ever let that occur again, or do what you can to try to mitigate that as much as possible. So anger is very much common when it comes to forgiving yourself, because, you know, when you go through life, you know, as a younger person, and then you grow older and you find yourself doing things you never thought you would do or saying things you never thought you would say, it's very common to be angry at yourself. You know, I find myself there many times, being angry at myself for things I've done and said. But hey, it's all part of the process. It's okay. Just know that it does get better with time. Okay? It's not an easy process, but it does get better with time. Okay? And then it comes the bargaining stage. The bargaining stage, is one of the ones that hurt the most, because hindsight's always 20/20, right? We all know that hindsight's 20/20. You always think about what the outcome would have been if you had done this differently, or you had done that differently. You know, if I had not said this, this would not have happened. Or if I had not done this, this would not have happened. But the unfortunate part about that is that it's too late. It happened. It was said. It's been done. So now you have to grow to accept that it happened. And the unfortunate part of life is that we don't get any rewind button. We don't get any replays. What's done is done, and what's said is said. And unfortunately, whatever decision you make, whether good or bad, you got to live with it. That's just what it is. You got to live with that. And that's tough for a lot of people. You know, it's been tough for me. You know, when it came to things I've done, or things I've said, it was tough living with myself. It was tough even looking at myself in the mirror sometimes, because I was like, man, like, if I had not done this, this would not have happened. If I had not said this, this would not have happened. But the reality of it is that it was said, or it was done, which leads into the next stage, depression. You know, being depressed. Being depressed is very common in terms of forgiving yourself, and when it comes to those 5 stages, because, you know, and this is the most dangerous stage also. This is one of the most dangerous stage, in my humble opinion. This is the stage where a lot of people reach the point of even contemplating suicide, or unfortunately committing suicide, because they fall into that depression stage because they just can't believe that they were capable of doing something so egregious, or they were capable of saying something so foul. They can't imagine that they were capable of doing such a thing. Now, here's the thing about that, my humble opinion also, is that, like I said in one of my previous videos, is that when you are unaware of yourself spiritually, or when you're not being spiritually led by a higher power, by the Almighty, you'll be surprised what you can find yourself doing and saying. Without God, we are like a leaf blowing in the wind with no direction, or a ship without a sail. We have no direction. So when you have no spiritual direction, it's amazing and, quite frankly, just totally unbelievable what you'll find yourself doing if you're not spiritually led. I've been there. Trust me, I've been there. I've been in a dark, dark place where I've done and said things that I didn't even know I was capable of. But the reality of it is that it's been said, it's been done, and now I fell into a state of depression because I didn't know how I was going to come out of that. I didn't know how I was going to come to forgiving myself or finding forgiveness. I saw no way out. And like I said before, this is the most dangerous stage, because a lot of people, when they do or say things, for example, look at like porn stars, for example. You think they don't fall into depression? You think they were raised that way? Most of these women, or most of these young men, you think they were raised to live that type of lifestyle? So a lot of them fall into a deep, dark depression, man, because they could not imagine themselves ever going that route. You know, they know the ones that come from a strong family foundation, it's hard to imagine to themselves that they could ever end up there. So depression is very common, and like I said, it's one of those most dangerous stages, because this is the stage where a lot of people don't see a way out. They don't see how it's possible they can ever recover from things they said or things they done. You know, so you got to be careful with that stage, man. It's very common, but it takes a strong foundation. It takes a lot of prayer. It takes a lot of just patience with the process, knowing that it won't last forever. But yeah, that's really tough, man. That's really tough. You know, but one of the things that helps with that is accepting it, which is the last stage. The last stage of acceptance. Saying, okay, I'm human. I've committed sin. I've done this. I've done that. I can't take it back. There's no going back. There's no way I can erase this. So the only way I can recover and move forward in my life is to grow to accept it. And part of acceptance is talking to other people, because a lot of times we feel like we are alone in our ordeals. You know what I'm saying? Things we've done and said, we feel like there's no one out there who's done worse than we have. When in actuality, if you actually read and watch certain videos, you come to realize you're not the worst person out there real quick. Have you ever killed anybody? Have you ever molested any children or something like that? You know, hopefully you haven't. But yeah, there's people out there who've done some egregious things, man, some despicable things. So if you're not done anything to that level, you know, providing that, you know, when it comes to killing somebody, if you weren't defending yourself, then yeah, I can understand how that can be a dark place to be, man. I wouldn't want to wish that on anybody. I've never done it myself. Hopefully I never have to. But I say all of that to say that it's a process, man, forgiving yourself. You know, if you're going through that right now, understand that it's not going to happen overnight. It takes time. It really takes time. Understand that you're a human being, man. We've all committed sin. We're all flawed. Everyone's flawed. You know, one thing I hate the most is when I hear of somebody talking about how someone else is flawed. Oh, they're flawed, but they're a decent person other than that, blah, blah, blah. Like, wait a minute. We all are flawed. Everybody's flawed. No one in this world is without sin. Nobody. Some of us have done more than others, but none of us are guilt-free. We all have something that we regret. We all have something that we wish we could take back. We all have things that we contemplate on and we ponder on a regular basis. But guess what? The truth of the matter is that it's not going anywhere. It's going to be there with you for the rest of your days. You just have to grow to accept it. You know, I tell you guys now, when I was young, you know, I was misled like you would not believe, you know, being that I didn't have a strong family foundation, being that I did not have that strong sense of direction in my life, being that I did not have my mother. I didn't have a strong family household, you know, so I didn't come from that. So I understood the person I was then was the product of my environment. You know, I did what I saw. I said what I heard, you know, so if you come from that environment, that abrupt environment, understand that you're only doing what you were exposed to, what you were taught. You know, that's why it's very important to be careful what you listen to, what you watch, what you read, and what you allow into your ears, what you allow to enter your ears and into your spirit, because those things have a profound effect on you. And if you're not careful, man, like they can lead you to doing some things and saying some things that you know you don't agree with internally. So, yeah, forgiveness is a process. You know, it's very easy to look at others and see their discrepancies or look at their flaws, but it's very difficult to self-reflect and look at yourself, self-analyze and say, I'm not right. I'm messed up. That's hard to do because in our minds, in our deceptive minds, a lot of times we like to think that we're better than everybody else. So we're not as bad as the next person when we're deceiving ourselves, when the truth of the matter is we really are in some cases. So understand that even if you've done something egregious, even if you've done something bad, man, like there's nothing that you've done that the good Lord won't forgive you for. You know, Jesus didn't die for some sins. He died for all manner of sin. All manner of sin. And I'm not trying to get too preachy on my channel like I try. I don't really do that, but y'all know who watch me. I'm a believer. And one thing that I believe in my heart for certain is that there's nothing that you've ever done in your life that God won't forgive you for. Nothing. I don't care what you talk. I don't care what you say. There's nothing that you've done that God, if you come to him with a humble heart, won't forgive you for. So just have hope in that. You know, let that lift your spirit, knowing that there's nothing you've done that the good Lord won't forgive. You know, you just got to be humble. You got to be honest with yourself. Because when you're honest with yourself, you can be honest with him. It's when we're in that denial stage and we try and deny everything we've done and hide from our actions and our words that it's difficult to find it because, you know, and that's what lays that heavy burden on you, because that's just him trying to correct us. When you feel that burden on you, that's just him trying to correct you, letting you know that, hey, you need to repent, you need to do this, you need to do that. But we're running from ourselves. We're running from him. You know? So, but anyway, I said all of that to say, man, if you're struggling with forgiving yourself, like I said before, man, know that it's a process. None of us are without regret. None of us are without shame at some point in our lives. We all go through it. It's just a matter of how you deal with it. Okay? So, yeah, man, I hope that, and I pray that anybody who's watching this video that's dealing with that if you need to talk to somebody, or you need to, whatever you need to do, whatever your outlet is, do that before you contemplate anything egregious, man, all right? We've all been through it. You know, I've been through it myself. But yeah, I hope that this video helps somebody, encourage somebody, inspired somebody. You know, if you're feeling this video, do me a favor, hit the like button, show your support for the video. Hit me up in the comments, let me know what you guys think. Oh yeah, my link for my Instagram and my Facebook is in the description down below. So yeah, feel free to hit me up there if you don't want to post anything on YouTube. If you want to talk about something, I'm all ears. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing you can talk about I haven't been through myself, chances are. So yeah, hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on Facebook. Link will be down in the description. Yeah. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, man. All right. Hey, until next time, God bless y'all. Take care. It's your homie Bake Mike checking out, man. Peace.